If you thought you heard the last of Daniel Penny, the former Marine who choked former street performer Jordan Neely on a New York City subway line, you thought wrong. After a mostly white jury with one black member acquitted Penny of all charges this week, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance invited Penny to join them in their suite at the Army-Navy football game this weekend. So that's where we are now, America. The incoming president of the United States is celebrating people for killing black people. Sadly, it's on message for Donald Trump. Remember, during the campaign, the one and only time he came here to Harlem was to visit a bodega owner who stabbed and killed a black man. But let me tell you another story. Have you heard the story of the 17-year-old black kid from Harlem named Khalid? Khalid was a high school dropout looking for direction in his life. One day, he took the train to New Jersey to protect a neighborhood he didn't live in from a group of Proud Boys. Khalid walked through the streets of Newark carrying a loaded AR-15 rifle, found himself in an unfriendly crowd, felt threatened, shot 3 people, killed 2 of them, and then fled the scene carrying the weapon. When the police arrived, Khalid raised his hands to surrender, and one of the people who filmed the scene yelled to the cops that Khalid had just shot 2 people. But when the law enforcement vehicles approached Khalid, the officers did nothing. They drove right by him. Khalid returned home here to Harlem, became a celebrity, and appeared on BET, MSNBC, and Amateur Night at the Apollo. When he was finally charged with a crime, Khalid raised $1 million to buy the best lawyers to defend himself in court. A jury of 11 black people and 1 other person acquitted him of all charges. A few days later, Khalid met with former President Obama and took a celebratory photograph. Just 2 black men who beat the system. If this all sounds ridiculous, it's because it never happened. Yet this is the mirror image of what did happen with Kyle Rittenhouse, a white 17-year-old high school dropout from Antioch, Illinois, who crossed state lines and shot 3 people at a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin in the summer of 2020. When police saw him walking down the street with the proverbial smoking gun, they literally did nothing and drove right by him. If there was ever any doubt about the existence of white privilege, there was no more dramatic recent example than the police failing to arrest a visibly armed Kyle Rittenhouse after he had just shot and killed 2 people. If Kyle had been Khalid, the outcome would have been different. But after all that, Kyle Rittenhouse, like Daniel Penny, was celebrated as a hero, acquitted of all charges, and then flew down to Florida to meet with former President Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Now, can you imagine a scenario where a black kid kills 2 white people and then meets with President Obama as a hero? Or where a black man chokes an unruly white subway passenger, escapes punishment, and gets invited to the Kennedy Center with Kamala Harris? Republicans respond, "Oh, but the people they killed were no angels." So what? Neither is Donald Trump, a convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, and known insurrectionist with 4 indictments, 2 impeachments, multiple fraud judgments, and his own company convicted of crimes. But that doesn't give me, you, or anyone else the right to go kill him. These people love to make up rules that only apply to the people they hate.